Buddy, thank you for coming back. Looking forward to tonight. We're going to have some fun. At least today it's not storming or having some major problems with the weather. So thank God for that. Got a chance to have some hot weather. So that's good. So I again wanted to thank you. Today's chapters and the concept is about getting a sense of integrity back. And then we're going to be going into a blackout poetry activity. So this will be fun, a way for those who like to write, ways that like to be creative, and then be able to also express it through our collaging and that type of stuff. So we'll go through that as well. But the chapter 4, the sense of integrity, most of the chapter she went into was really a lot more about the morning pages and about how they're designed for you to go deeper and to provide more opportunity for introspection and integration of self-awareness. And so the concept of knowing yourself is the path to recovering a sense of integrity. And she's saying that because of that self-knowledge or that self-awareness of your choices and your beliefs and your behaviors versus just blindly adhering to external guidance or dogma gives one integrity in their life. So, and it also provides clarity for our path that we want to go on to, what we'd like to do, would like to accomplish, the type of things, the kind of life we want to live. And so the more we know ourselves, the more the process of knowing ourselves is part of what we should be doing throughout our lives. And being able to spend time doing that is also part of what the morning pages offer. And so she was really going into, like, a lot of people don't like to do the morning pages because they're tired, don't really see the purpose of them. And she was really going on about explaining why it's so important and what the purpose of the pages really do. And so the other part she wanted to say is that we as humans tend to create more things that prevent us from doing these things, the things in our lives that maybe blur our clarity or keeps us in a fog and prevents us from our growth and progress. And in some ways, we think of it as protecting us from our fears and our fears of change, of what that change really might mean in our lives. We might want it, but do we want it like that? Is it really going to change everything? And so sometimes that we'll put things in the way. We'll sabotage ourselves. So we'll use things like junk food for the soul, she says. Things like overwork, underplay, bad relations, toxic relationships, under-exercise, alcohol, drugs, sugar, over TV, and undersleep, she says, are just a few that she names and lists in the book. And the idea here is that the pages help to reveal the things that we use that help prevent us from being able to make progress. And then in that, when it's revealed, we're supposed to spend some time thinking about, like, how we can change that. And not that any of these things that we have in our lives, these sort of guilty pleasures, really are so bad that we can't still have them in our life. It's not like eliminating all fun, but it is also kind of thinking about, with the morning pages in particular, she's saying that sometimes we use these things to prevent us from progress, prevent us from achieving our goals, or really allowing us to see what maybe might be possible and achieving more joy in our life. So she really wanted to go over, like, how that really discussing the morning pages, about how they're useful, and then being able to help you kind of get into that point where these are things to really help you go deeper and really explore those parts of yourself in the morning pages. So I just wanted to make sure I was talking about that for those that are following the morning pages. I know sometimes it's kind of hard, and she said it's right about this time that people start to reject the morning pages because they don't see the functionality of it, but they also start to do it because they start to recognize that they're going to have to make changes. And sometimes we're not always willing to make those changes, not always willing to do the things that it takes for us to be able to make progress. And so maybe we're not ready at that time, and you have to give yourself a moment to be able to find out, is that I'm ready now or not? Or, what exactly, how much am I willing to do to make these changes? What are those changes I really want to make? And so that's really what she's going into. All right, so and I'll go into some buried dream exercise that she has, but we'll do that as we get started. So now we're going to get into the blackout poetry actual activity. This will be a fun one. It's a nice just an activity for everyone to do. Apparently, what it is it's a found poetry that is based on a text, any type of text. But apparently this that the writer here that you can find anywhere is like you're looking at whatever's already been written down on paper. And then you're going to go through and just kind of like just sort of see what words pop out to you, what makes, like, oh, that kind of interesting. I like that. Makes sense. And start to like lightly circle with pencil the words that seem to like you are attracted to. And then go back over and see if you can start to make with those found words a poem, your own poem. And then as you're going through your poem, then you're going to start thinking about, what is it saying to me? It's almost like a interesting literature exercise and like Lectio Divina, where when you go through the scripture and you read it once and you go back again and you read it again and some words will pop out to you. And that's what you're supposed to like kind of reflect on. Well, this is just a general text and you'll just kind of find words in there and you'll circle them and you'll find a way to see what comes out to you as you're looking at the words. So I asked you guys to bring 3 pages of your favorite song lyrics. If you weren't able to do that or wasn't able to find those lyrics, just find a newspaper, any type of page that has text on it that you can just be able to use to pull out the poem from those words. So they're found texts. And you can also use, they can always cut out words too from a magazine or from a thing that you can kind of find those words as well to create a poem. So that's what we're going to first start with. And then we have 3 of them here. I thought we'd start with the first, just pick one that you randomly have there and start just circling with pencil words that kind of come, strike out to you, what you thought was interesting about that, and start to see what kind of poem might form. I wanted to let you know that the actual project came from a person called Austin Kleon, not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but he started doing this daily blackout poem activity with the newspaper, and then he'd post what he created on the newspaper online, and it went viral, and people just started taking off and doing the blackout poetry. So it was really quite a fascinating thing for it to be something that everyone kind of enjoyed. It was a fun activity to really kind of get people not only interested in poetry and text, but also a way to kind of express ourselves differently. So just kind of go through yours, and then so for me, one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite songs, I've had tons of, I told you I have like a very, very, last week I said I was very moody depending on when I'm mood. So I have lots of favorite songs throughout my years, things that really would make me smile. And this was one of my all-time favorite ones growing up. And this was the Rainbow Connection, the Kermit the Frog. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? Anybody remember that one? So I'm going to see what, you don't remember that one? So have some fun, just kind of see what comes up to you and start to see what formulates. And then we'll go and we'll start talking about that a little bit more deeper in a second. I'll give you about a couple minutes. Oh, and the one thing I need to make sure that I'm stressing on this is that with any of these texts and the way we were looking at that is to first circle the words that pop out to you. And then as you're going through it, you're going to start to see about putting together an actual poem. Now, these poems don't have to be any particular style of poetry. It doesn't have to rhyme. It doesn't have to have any particular way in which but a poem that starts to mean something, it starts to reflect some type of a theme. So obviously with mine, it's a little bit more, romantic and sweet. And so, the kind of things that might pop up in images that might come in my mind would be more in that arena. But those are, what you can see within your text. And then as you're going through that, you're going to start to look to see a little bit closer about, from the ones that you circled, can you create an actual poem from those words that seem to have maybe struck you or thought was like one that kind of stuck out to you. From there, you're going to then actually start thinking about imagery, language, word choice, the mood that it comes and conveys, maybe not only your theme, but something that you may start to pick up from what that comes out, the mood that you can feel it's kind of bringing out in you. And then from those, isolate those words, but think about how we're looking at the page, we're looking and reading the text from left to right and from top down. So that way, whoever's looking at your Blackout pages, they're going to be able to read your poetry appropriately. So top down, left, right. So as you're circling words, it's going to go this way. So you can see that whoever's reading your text is going to follow accordingly, just as we normally would read text. So, left to right, top down. So as you're circling them, you're going to have a word here, and then you're going to read this way, and then it's going to go down, and then it'll go this way. And so that way you can make sure that your poem is following the text. Does that make sense?
I have a question.
Yes.
Does it have to be just a word, or can it be like...
Oh, you can circle a whole phrase, a line. Exactly.
And you said it doesn't have to rhyme?
No, it doesn't have to rhyme it doesn't have to be a specific type like haiku or any specific kind of poetry. But as you're looking at the words, if something strikes you and you think, oh, this could be really cool, I could try this, you could do that as well. But just remember that as people are reading your pieces, they're going to be looking at it left to right, top down. And that way you can make sure it's going to follow your poem that way. And then as you're doing that part, you're going to then start to see imagery in your head about what this is going to look like to you, the poem that you want to be. So is it one that is maybe more of a particular feeling you want to express? Maybe you start to think of an image like me. Immediately I'm thinking rainbows, right? So so I might have a rainbow. I could have different ways in which that might come up into this text, and I might be able to use that. What we do after we've created our poems is then we start to black out the rest. So technically, if you just wanted to circle your poem words or phrases and make that into your poem, and then black Sharpie the rest of the page, you can do that. That was how he normally did it. He just black Sharpie did. I'm going to try to show you some actual images of what he did, or people in general, so you have an idea of what they look like. But you can be anything. So like here is an example of one person who started just circling the words. Can you see how that they circled the words on the text? And then they started creating imagery on top of the words. So like they had like a star, a little sun and clouds, and then they had like a sailboat. But this was all imagery that popped up from not only the words that they chose, but the imagery that came up in their mind. Yes. Joe? I have a raised hand.
Yeah, it's me. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly the next step is. So I know you just explained part of it, So I've circled the lyrics that spoke to me the most. So the main thing is to go through that and like Sharpie out the rest. Am I?
Well, and that's what
Am
I'm
I putting
exactly.
all of the different ones onto one page?
No, I'm just there are 3 different ones, so I wanted you to do 3 different poems. So the idea is that you would then from this page, I
You'd
just
make
want to
a
start
poem
with the
with
first
one of
one.
them.
Yeah, just start with one, and then you could do. Then we'll do another. I just figured the first one's going to be one just to kind of see how it works and get experience for filling it, and then you get a chance to do another one and see like, oh, okay, now I get it. I'm going to be able to, do another one and start having more fun with that.
Okay.
Okay, so from here, I'm going to also show you what the next step for that person was. So then after they circled, you can see this a little bit better too. It's okay. So the same picture, they circled the words, their poem, they drew directly onto the page, imagery that they felt was part of their poem that made sense to them. But you can see here, then they started to add color and painted. So they painted and wrote all over all the other words that are there. So you can see how it's kind of highlighted and how it kind of created, created this sort of image from the Blackout poetry. Or I'm going to show you some other examples. These are other ones that from like just a regular Blackout poetry roundup examples. Some people went all out. So you can tell from here, like Joe, check this out. From the page, these are different examples of the Blackout poetry that people have done. So they actually did a whole face. And then you can circle the words from your poetry, but you can directly paint on, put an image in, and create that where you can then, or the whole thing could be black and then your words just pop out. So you can make anything on this, make it, where you could do, they had a heart and a map and, one was like Frankenstein. Over here, they had example of like, so like here, there's an example on this one. On the bottom here, you can see how a regular Blackout poetry is like this. You see how that's like just all black Sharpie? And then the poem right there is just all that's in white. So that, if you just wanted to do that and just do black where everywhere else, that's a Blackout poetry. Or you can do like over here, they decided to do roses. So you did your poetry so you can highlight it, but then they did the imagery as well. So you can have so much fun with whatever you want to do on your page so that you can create not only the poem, but the image and the experience and the emotion that you have from the poetry. So it's just a nice fun. So here we've been having more fun with our collaging, painting. You can do stencils, you can stamp on it, that type of stuff. But you want to highlight the poem that you created from the found text. And then you're going to then create an image based off of that. Okay. And you can do whatever you want. That's what's really fun about the whole thing. It's just to enjoy the process of creating. And sometimes, you have a variety of ways of doing it. So is anybody coming up with an actual poem yet?
Unfortunately, I'm not. However, I got my couple songs. I got like Michael Jackson Just Beat It, and it's more of an uptown type of boom, boom, boom. So I kind of like that. But what you showed me as far as examples, I was going to probably just do the Blackout because that's probably the easiest way. But those ideas, I mean, with that music, I'm going to curtail it to what I feel about that type of music. It kind of get that upbeat feeling. So I may do something more lively in that Blackout moment.
Exactly. And color can be, you can just do it with different colors too. So you can choose black, or you can choose a different marker, or you can choose to paint it entirely different. If you feel like upbeat music, sometimes it's happy. Sometimes it makes you, so maybe it's more of the oranges and reds and that kind of stuff. Or it could be dancing, like you might have a figure of somebody dancing, or maybe a Michael
That's
Jackson.
exactly what I was leading towards. Me dancing. I mean, when I was skinny and young, and I could just dance. Exactly. Not like my niece. My niece sometimes she tries to dance, but I'm not sure how that works out. But anyway, that's a different.
I got to prove. Okay.
Okay.
Stop playing with me.
Now, and then my other song is going to be Uptown Funk. So I kind of got them both in there with Bruno Mars. So I got kind of old school plus new school. I want to see if I can maybe mix those two together. I'm a little behind on getting it printed, but I would have loved to have it printed and then start doing the art on it. So that's my homework for tonight. But I got them on my Word document right now. I'll get it printed up, and then I'll start highlight or because I'm gonna color code it in yellow right now. And
the other thing, yeah, if you can do it like on your screen and print it out, that works out well too. So then you can play with that, highlight colors, that type of stuff. You definitely could do that. The other thing you could do that's also a fun way, it's like you're thinking Bruno Mars or like Michael Jackson. You could actually get a picture of them and do like the figure.
Oh, Michael Jackson background with him and his hat and he's coming down like
exactly.
Yeah,
so you can and the glove and everything. So then you can like actually then put it on, paste it onto your image. And then that gives you like, you can either outline him on there, you can create, so you can create the what you're looking for through the dance, through Michael, but then you can have your poem based off of the words that you found in there.
Well, I was listening to my neighbor's house yesterday, and Taylor Swift. I saw one of her videos. I can't. Oh gosh, what was the song? I'm just drew a blank. Is the one that her kids think they're going to get all this inheritance. Oh, what is it called? And she leaves them nothing because her image, her as a person is worth millions, and her kids were taking it for granted that they were going to get everything. But the it's a sad song in a sense because
I don't think I remember that one.
You have it's out there, and I just can't. But the imagery of her being bigger than light in a sense, and everybody doesn't know her for her, but just knows the wealth and the persona of her being wealthy and having everything handed to her in essence. But I'll get the song and I'll send it to you. But my point of that is that right there would have a lot of imagery of just the trials of just. You know what? She wants to just be human. She just wants to be normal. And with her being a superstar, she doesn't get that. She doesn't even get that in her house, in a sense. And of course, this is a foreshadow of her having kids. She doesn't have any kids. But it's a good video. Matter of fact, it's one of her recent ones. But the video was quite moving in essence. So I think the normal songs do have their own poetry within itself. When you pick and choose, I feel you can really make something out of this even more to yourself or your liking. So I do like those two songs, and I chose Taylor Swift. I didn't choose her for my third one, but that was just brought to my idea because we're just listening to songs from our neighbor's house, and that came up as a video, and it was quite enlightening. I was like, wow, I haven't seen her in that type of a video. So,
exactly.
I'll stop talking now.
I'm sorry. Oh no, you're fine. I was just going to say that because the chapter is about the sense of integrity and knowing yourself. Know thyself is the idea, and the pages help to reveal some of those things to really understand: are you doing this because you're choosing to do this and you really want to do these things and really believe in these things, or is it because you're just either blindly adhering to something else or listening to other people or doing what you think is expected of you versus what you really want to do? And so sometimes we get ourselves, whether our society, family, expectations, things like that kind of cause us to make those decisions. And so the idea of like really living with integrity is living with like knowing yourself and really making sure that those are like, you're not allowing that to dominate what your choices are or your behavior is going to be. And so, but what the songs that you're saying, they by going through these, you can kind of get a feel for like the things that people are going through, the emotions, the feelings. Those are all revealed in music, and a lot of that stuff that's why sometimes you'll remember a certain song, a certain time of your life. You'll remember the certain things help you through certain times of your life because of that, because it touches on those emotions and it allows you to be able to feel and understand, like other people and have more not only sympathy but empathy towards like other people's situations. So that's why I thought with the music it might help us to connect a little bit more and then create our own poems based off of that.
I think it was a good idea. I know for sure I had that with some of my choices. I mean, this one of the songs I chose was "Strong as an Oak" by Watsky. I've been listening to that song for such a long time, and
Nice.
a lot of the lyrics in it didn't really hit me until I got older and had to worry about just more adult things. But the song kind of is like how it, like the young adult struggles of like, I'm broke. There's not much that you have at the moment starting out. I'm fortunate to not have to worry about it so much, but some people have to worry about it a lot more.
Absolutely.
But this song it doesn't just talk about money issues, although it's a common thing, but it's more just realizing that everything's fine no matter what. You could be broke, you could have nothing, but it's going to be okay. Everything kind of turns around. That's why I really like this song. Is that it's like part of it's going is like he's like, bring out all your fancy things. My debit card just got declined at In and Out.
Oh, it out's good food too, man.
And then he just goes to like, I don't think money is the devil. I'm not sinking. I'm just kicking it at sea level. He's just like, I'm not making it an enemy out of nothing. I'm just chilling. I'm going through life doing it my way, having fun, living it to the fullest in my way. I'm not chasing these mountains of money or anything. I'm just enjoying life. And I don't know. It just applies to me, and what he was trying to talk about feels a lot stronger now than it did back then. And even then, it was a song that helped me out a lot.
Absolutely. So I feel like that your theme is kind of a little bit more of like a little bit more positive though, because you're like thinking it is all going to work out, so maybe like the imagery that comes out or the theme that you might come up with from your poetry, from those words, those found words, would maybe be a little bit more positive. And maybe a little, I don't know, what kind of imagery do you come up with when you're thinking about the way the song makes you feel?
I'm trying my best to work with it, with how I printed it out and stuff. And also, I have a lot of colors, just not the colors I want. But I made it work with. I'm trying to make a tree out of like yellow and blue.
Okay.
I figured it'd be like the brighter color, and then the contrasting blue would be fun. But yeah,
You got a red.
Now, maybe when you go back in for your poem, circle your poem. Now you circled in pencil, but now you can go back in and circle or highlight it with the Sharpie color that you want to use, and that way it stands out when you start to really black out the rest of it or color the rest of it or whatever the image is going to be in there, and then that way your poem will stand out more. And then that way you start to be able to see even how the words on the page make a shape, and maybe you can use that shape to create something, so that may also help you to, like the tree, you could maybe use the words to make it look like a tree. So you might do a whole bunch of stuff on here, just to it's just a matter of what you feel. Just let yourself, kind of let it flow. It could be free flow. It could be, and then remember also we talked about like a couple of weeks ago, we talked about composition on the page. You could even think about like, how do you want to like point out certain things? Maybe the triangle was a big way for some things to be, used, and that type of thing. So you might even think about those things, like maybe where I might place something. I might place it in a certain area, or I might actually use triangles and do that, or create that imagery based off of those things. So you can think and play with that as well while you're trying to do the blackout. It's part of it, the color, the background part of it. Does anybody have a poem they want to share?
Teresa, I don't have a poem, but I want to make a recommendation if I can. Since we are beginners, and you did illustrate and show some examples behind you, maybe you can have some stuff behind you posted, so it gives us a little bit more of those examples that we can go to and help us get some
Oh,
ideas, because sometimes ideas and that artistic creativity may be limited for this old man right here. So I could definitely use some inspiration at times, and it did help me, because I think there's a few of them I did like that, and I liked what you had for examples, or like 6 or 7 on your phone. But
yeah.
perhaps next time, if you can have those
Print it out.
ready and have it maybe in the background, so it's like, oh, I like that idea or that imagery or something, and
Yeah,
it kind
exactly.
of gives me some better perspective
People
and ideas.
refer back to it. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about
You can
that.
also post links beforehand of like examples. Like you're like, this is what we're gonna do in this upcoming week. Post the examples of
Yeah.
it, maybe some of the songs you've done before with it, and just post
Yeah.
those so that people can pull them up without having to, like, maybe their camera isn't working that well and they can't see that good or things like that.
Okay.
Good point. I like that.
Thank you for that. And you're right. And then I'm not talking about like a writing class. So I'm not approaching it that way with you guys, but it is still, imagery and text. And so tone, diction, those are parts of the words that mood when it comes to poems. I'm going to read what I got so far and see if it makes any, it doesn't necessarily have to make sense, but I'm kind of curious. So I have: rainbows are illusions, visions, nothing to hide. Lovers, dreamers, me, wished on the morning star. So amazing connection. Spell, magic, asleep. Voices calling my name. Sweet sound. Ignore it. I'm supposed to be somebody will find it. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. It's actually kind of fun. I like this. Does anyone want a chair? A poem? At least not yet.
Yeah, got somebody.
Well, I'm
Okay, what do you got?
a little bit.
She needs a second.
Oh.
You know what? I'm kind of cheating because I get to watch everybody else do their homework, and I'm a little behind. So,
Oh, that's not a
Joe.
problem at all. I'm glad that you're able to. So that's part of like the idea is that we're having fun and being able to find a way to express. But you're actually still working.
I'm not
That's
done,
really
but I
good. I like that.
thought it was cool.
Very cool. Well, take a look at what she did.
Exactly. And you have the imagery around
Awesome.
it. Oh,
I like the
yes,
rocket
exactly.
and the stars. That's cool. That's really
I
cool.
like that a lot. That's perfect. That's exactly it. And you just keep having fun. That's the whole idea is that you just
Can you
allow
show
it to. Say that again.
Hmm.
Now that looks really cool.
That is
Are those
really nice.
oh, I like are those planets on the left and right?
Yeah, those are planets.
Aha.
I have
Is
a
that the
little I have
sun
a
is
little
one
alien
and Earth is
spaceship
the
at
other?
bottom.
Solve
Well,
it.
no, they're just kind of like plants I've made up myself, so they are
I
not
love it.
very accurate to anything.
It works. That's the idea. And then now
No,
what you can also do is they say to suggest as far as like being able to present your work, and we're obviously going to be putting it on our journals, our journals, but you could cut around what you did, kind of cut that around, and then you could post it onto like a color back paper, so then you can have like it outlined, like it really makes it stand out, so that you can give some, a little bit more of a, and then you can glue that and paste it onto your journal page, so that way it's more of a displayed art. And you want to think also of the title of your poem. What is it? What does it seem? What is the title for you? What do you want it to present?
No, sis, I'm a little behind, but here's the thing with
Huh?
with the creativity of computers and a Word document, you can go to design, layouts, watermark, paint colors. I can add a lot of stuff and
Yeah, you
delete
could
a lot.
totally do this on a computer. You could
Okay.
totally do that on the computer if you wanted to. But right now, I didn't that we're doing these
That's just my skill set. I'm out of my element here.
Well, it allows you to kind of have
It
just have
forces
fun
me
with
to
it.
become more creative. I'll give it that.
You gotta allow yourself to kind of break outside of the box, do something a little different. But yes, if like with Mike, as you're going through it and you're looking at the words there, you could easily highlight it. You got colors. You can do different fonts. You could totally do this on the computer and still be able to create the idea behind it about the poem and the imagery and the color and everything else that would be something that you'd want to express using those found words, and just kind of reflect on it. Give yourself that time to work on that piece as well. Especially with the Michael Jackson.
Oh goodness, yes. Well, I'm going online right now and I see a couple of his images, so I'm trying to see what I can do as a watermark or something like that and put it in the background.
Exactly. You could watermark him, or you could fill him in with like make him a black image, like a So I mean, you could just completely. What's the
silhouette? Yep.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to come with that word. That word.
Vocabulary, my only strength.
Who's bad? Just kidding. That's another one.
I remember it just triggered me about how back in the day we used to wear the best parachute pants.
That was after they became outdated because we couldn't afford it at the time.
Yeah.
Parachute
So
pants were too
true.
expensive back then.
And
So
the one
I had to
girl-
wait 5 years before they came in out of style before I got them in style.
Well, they're coming back. They're coming back.
Bring it
50
back.
years later?
Come back. Yeah.
All fashion trends come back. It's a circle. It'll just come back. You just gotta hold on to it until it comes back in fashion, and then you can wear it wherever you want.
Or just be
Oh, bless
stubborn.
you, my child.
Yeah,
My
or be
foot
fashion
sounds too
forward
heavy.
and go so far back that you're forward, and thus edgy.
You bring
cool.
it back.
You are the one that brings it back. It's called innovation.
There you go. I
Well,
like
that's
it.
not hollaback.
So that's All right. So how's everyone else doing? Or is it coming along? Does it seem like it's
Yeah, I like it. I'm really happy with this.
it is a fun, just fun, you know, it's just a nice relaxing kind of activity to do. But it also I think that I can understand why it became so popular among people, because it really allows you to just, you know, relax and create. And then you're able to come up with like the idea of poetry too, because some people who are readers, who like to write, you know, they you know, it's a fun activity for them to also relax and just have fun with the words too, and not to be so, you know, sometimes when you're trying to write a poem, it gets to be a little bit, you know, constricted, rules, that kind of stuff. But you really just need to allow yourself to relax and let it flow. So an activity like this can really allow you to kind of just make, you know, just have fun with the activity versus coming up with like a specific, you know, pentameter, a way in which you're supposed to do things, the way in which languages, you know, like people require you to do. This allows you to be a little bit more free. And it's not like specific where you have to have a special poem at the end, but it can be, you know, it can be really a way to just come up with something entirely new and different, a rap, your own song maybe, you know, that you've come from the words that you found.
Joe, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Well,
If I wanted to do something like more on the computer, like I mentioned with to Teresa, how can I take a snapshot of that and then let everybody else see it too? Is there a possibility while I'm being on this video?
there should be a share screen option.
When you have a screenshot, you can just show your live screen.
Yeah, you can just share your screen with everybody. I believe if I hit present now in here, you can show your entire screen, a window, a tab. Like if I were to,
And it'll show what's on your screen?
Yep.
The entire
here,
screen?
I'll do it. Yeah, I could do it right now. I could do entire screen. And then people have the option to look at it.
I just see you two. That's it.
And then, okay, so I'm sharing it now.
So,
Oh, interesting.
And then, you know, and then now I could go over here. I could see the post.
And that's all by doing the that
It's
little
just-
square with the arrow in it?
Yes, that would be the one. And you could
Okay.
do present now, and then you could show your screen that way.
So I hit it once, it shares it, hit it twice, it goes out, or it goes back to normal?
So what I did was I hit share now. I did entire screen. I got a little pop-up window, which then you select on like basically your screen, and then you should hit share, and then it should go through.
Okay. And then how do you get out of it?
The way I stopped it was I just hit stop sharing or stop presenting.
You guys, can you see that?
Not yet.
Have you hit share, the share button?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, actually, it won't let me, there's a share and cancel. It's not letting me go to that next
Yeah,
phase.
you wanna okay, so yeah, so you wanna click on the screen in the pop-up. It'll have a blue outline around it after, and then the share will be able to be pressed.
Oh, here we go.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, and how do I get out of it? Stop sharing? Oh, wow.
Well, stop sharing, closes it. But you just go to the whatever tab or whatever to just show it.
Thanks. All right. Smarty pants.
Yeah, here you go. You're back on track. See, it's gonna work. So then you can just highlight the words that comes to you, and you can create your your poem based off of that song. A little bit of Michael, a little bit of you. You know, you could even do like music. You can, you know, or musical notes or like a score. All right, I'm almost done with at least a general outline here. And I'm going to try to show you guys my attempt. And then if you already moved on, you can go to the next one and do it again with your next song, and you can, you know, add more pieces or do whatever, you know, feels good to you. All right, here's my first attempt.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to post it. Put it on the backing of another paper for my journal and see how that comes up. Only thing I'm trying to figure out is my title. I think that's going to take me a little bit longer to figure out how to title it. Ah, here we go. This works. What do you guys think?
Oh, it's cool.
Oh yeah.
It's coming along. So that's what's so nice about these projects is that there's no necessarily having to follow a specific thing, but it allows you to really tap into your creativity and express yourself. And like I said, even if it's something that more spiritual, because the book's talking about the spiritual path. Sometimes, like I said, the Lectio Divina is one of those things. So if you wanted to even do like a page from scripture, or if you want to reflect on, to think about, and circle those words and make a poem out of that, reflect on the word, but reflect on what it means. You could go, you know, can take it to a different level even. But it's really more a matter of just enjoying yourself and allowing your body to, you know, come up with what's there, what feels good. So my next song that I picked out is one of my all-time favorites. This has a lot of good memories.
Thanks.
Oh, what a night.
Like,
Anyone remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
what a night.
lean on me, lean on. Okay. Oh, what a night is a good one too.
Yeah, I like that one. That's one of my all-time favorites.
Now I'm gonna have to apologize. I got something that's in the smoker. So I may have to.
You have to go check on it.
Yeah. So
That's okay.
Give me a few minutes and everything. I'm gonna try to make it back. I got some ribs. So for my fam, today's ribs, and Saturday is going to be brisket. So.
Oh, you know, that's what we should do for the 4th. We should make some brisket.
There you go.
That's a great idea. We're talking about all barbecue this weekend, so
Of course.
got to do some brisket. Are you using the rubs for your birthday? Are you using the rubs?
Always. You knocked it out of the park. I kid you not. Best rubs in the world. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I figured after that one, I was like, well, maybe you got some good ones there.
next week I will try. Oh, next week is my men's group, so I will try to make it next week, but I may be out. Okay.
Oh, likely story. Next week we're doing origami, by the way.
Oh, those little.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
Origami.
we're gonna do. And I was gonna ask if you wanted to pick one out because I was gonna let everybody kind of pick a particular one they wanted to do so that we could
A
be
bird.
working. So if you wanted to do an animal or a particular one you wanted to try, so let me know.
I'll try to do a bird. I'll give you a ring tomorrow. Okay.
Sounds good. Oh, there's one that what else was there? Oh, there was an activity. Did you want to do it real fast?
Well, I'm going to show you my Michael Jackson stuff. But I
Okay.
didn't have time to delete. I want to share it. I think you guys are going to like it. So let's see if I can do this again. Bam, bam.
I'm excited. Here we go. Oh my goodness.
I'll get it posted.
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
put it on there. And then I'll get that.
Oh, that's a great. So that's perfect.
gonna
Then you
cut-
can have the whole silhouette right there, and you can have the words that pop out to you, and you could it makes the whole thing. And it works even with the Bruno Mars because Bruno Mars does those moves as well.
Yep. Okay, real quick before I bounce, what were you going to show me? What's the
Oh, it was an activity she put out there, but I don't know if you want. It's just about trying to unlock some of those buried dreams. Because next week the theme is about unlocking the possibilities, and so it's about like really thinking about just quick, like we did that, a quick association and like a 20 questions and answer it real fast, and you're gonna be able to. So get a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm gonna be right back. I gotta get the book. All right, so on page 86, there's an exercise that it was like you did last week. It's just a quick, like 20 question thing, but it's just supposed to allow you to real fast write down things to kind of stimulate buried dreams, things that you may not have thought about or put away, kind of buried them. So this is like, okay, so she has, okay, so you got your paper? Got your
write
pen?
it down? Buried dreams.
All right. You're going to list 5 favorite hobbies that sound fun.
Oh, I got them right now.
Yeah, real quick.
Oh, football, shooting, running, physical fitness, and weightlifting.
Perfect. All right, 5 classes that sound fun.
Are they the same?
Is the
Kayaking.
question you're bad at?
Oh, the question was like 5 hobbies that sound fun.
Yeah, it's a joke there. Like something he's bad at, and we're
I am. Unlike someone that's just talking and
you are
interrupting.
bad
right
at
now.
those.
See, interrupt her. Doesn't do anything. Okay, go on.
All right, so then 5 classes that sound fun.
Classes.
Mhm.
Art class is one. Bowling would be another.
Oh.
Archery would be another. Shooting would be another.
Shooting again.
2 different forms of shooting. You got archery and then you got shooting again.
Shooting, and archery shooting.
All right,
Walking in the park.
there you go.
How
There you
about
go.
phys ed?
Yeah,
There it
that's
is.
always a good
I
one.
don't know what to say. If you didn't put phys ed.
Hey, how's it going? The next one is list 5 things you personally would never do that sound fun.
Never.
Like jumping out of a plane.
I would do that.
That does sound fun. I
You know
could be
what?
convinced to
As I'm
skydive,
getting
not
older,
bungee
I do
jump.
get scared of heights, so maybe I would be a little intimidated nowadays.
So what would be the one that sounds fun, but you would like I probably won't do?
Maybe jumping out of a plane. I mean, I think I would still do it, but that would intimidate me. Bungee jumping.
Mm-hmm.
I used to cliff dive, maybe cliff diving, depending on how high it is. Anything dealing with heights, I believe. Walking on the edge of a cliff. When we went to, all of us went to the, what you call it?
Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got close. That was very intimidating, not having any support and getting closer and closer to that edge and thinking that the rock might fall apart. And hearing everybody, I mean, there's like 150 people died the last year. And I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, am I gonna make it 151 today?
Oh, who was scared not to go around the glass?
This list is
Remember the
incomplete.
glass?
You can start
Yes, like
adding
the,
to
oh
it.
yes, that was scary.
Yeah, I think Hannah was so scared, intimidated. I had to pull her out off me and carry her across the glass ring.
Come on.
Remember that? She was so scared. She had to sit on the
Stop,
glass.
why are you lying again? Why are you lying again? What you lying about this time?
Grab crawl around it. Remember? It took like an hour and a half. Oh Lord! It was like a 5-minute thing. It took 2 hours to do.
Come on.
That was totally me. Oh, okay, well, let's do list 5 skills that would be fun to have. Skills that would be fun to have.
Flight.
Oh, skill. Oh yeah, to fly. That would be awesome.
I'd teleport.
That's a good one.
You're just there.
So are we having like superpowers then? You know, fly, be super strong.
Beat me in something.
That always happens. I don't have to be superpowers.
I beat you every time. I beat you every time.
I mean, I didn't have to wake up. I mean, I could be dead and still win.
I would like to be really good at like I don't know, doing some
extremely
Musical
smart.
instrument would be fun.
yes, an instrument for sure. I thought learn the guitar.
Multiple languages would be
piano.
nice.
Yeah.
Multiple languages, multiple instruments.
Yes.
That'll be awesome. Extremely smart, witty, knowledgeable, wisdom, wise.
I was
Mm.
born with that.
Oh Lord. Oh, see, we got thing
Okay,
one,
okay,
and
okay,
thing
okay,
two.
okay.
Look at that. I'm not
5
sure who's
things you
thing one and
used to
thing two
enjoy-
between Hannah and Joe.
5
Right?
things that'll start a fight. Number 1, this list.
Exactly.
Oh,
right?
okay, wait. So we got
List 5
things
things
like-
you used to enjoy doing. Used to enjoy doing.
used to enjoy. Oh, that's becoming more and more easier. I think I'm not as good as runner, so it's starting to be more painful than pleasurable.
Dancing.
I'm not dancing, so I probably break a hip. Skiing. I mean, I don't know. I have to look at that one. I have to think about that one.
Okay. Okay. And the last one is 5 silly things you would like to try at least once.
Silly things. Wear a clown outfit.
No.
Silly things. Silly. I do silly things, so it's pretty much my nature. I'm not even trying to think what's outside
That's
that.
what I'm talking about. There's nothing that really stops me. If it's silly, I do it.
Silly goofy guy.
I'm just a silly, goofy guy.
Do they have examples by chance when we?
No, these are just it's just about trying to stimulate your mind, thinking about things that maybe were buried dreams at one point. Like I really wish I could have done this, that kind of stuff. And then maybe some like things that you would, like maybe you want to try taking a
Good
class
match.
that was interesting, or maybe maybe I do want to learn the guitar.
I think it'd be cool if it was like you Sharpie like black or something. And it's like kind of like
So
leading through the page. I like it as is though.
So that's really what it was about. It's just to be able to figure out like buried dreams, kind of an exercise just to have some fun, but to kind of maybe bring up things that you hadn't thought about in a while and thought, maybe I do want to learn the guitar. Maybe I want to sign up for that particular class. Maybe I want to try some yoga. That kind of stuff, or, maybe it's time to give it a go.
Yeah. Okay. All right, sis. I really got to get going.
All right.
I will
Thank you
talk
for
to you and
coming.
reconnect with
Thank
you.
you.
I
Have
had
fun
a good
with
time.
us. I'll see you later.
I ate some grub, guys. Yum, yum, yum.
Have a happy 4th.
Well,
All right, guys.
And-
How is everybody
oh.
else doing?
I'm doing
Oh,
pretty good.
oh,
Here's the final product.
oh, I like that. That's
It doesn't
fantastic.
And it's
Oh,
gonna
I
go on
really
this
like that's
mat
really
wrap.
fun. I like the way the imagery, the design around and everything. Perfect. Very nice. How's do you have anyone else got a next one going or another song you want to talk about?
I just was getting my tree good.
Oh, okay. I like the roots, which look deeper, solid substance.
I was Hannah on there twice again.
I'm gonna say, is like Hannah, how's Hannah? Are you coming along? Do you have anything you want to
That
share?
thing still keeps kicking me out and coming back, and I can't see none.
Oh no, that's too bad. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize you were
Yeah.
struggling with the connection. Well, I want to also say one thing about what she had to suggest for next week as an activity to try. She was talking about, and she really believes in this one. And I was going to just suggest that maybe you guys give it a go. She believes in like a fasting, but particularly fasting from reading for the entire week. Fasting from reading for the entire week. And then people are like, wait a second, I have to read for work. I got to read this. But she said like fast for the entire week and try to do things that you would normally not have time to do because of those things. So if you would normally be reading, then maybe you would meditate or do the yoga class or try the other, pick up the guitar, that kind of thing. But not everybody is as used to reading or reads as much. So I suggest my idea here for her is like try to practice something that you feel you can't give up. Like if reading's your thing, then give up the reading, for a time period. And then if it's maybe it's social media, maybe you give up social media for to kind of, and then allow yourself time to do something else. Give yourself time what you normally would spend on there every day. So there's no way I can get rid of it. It's to allow you to kind of maybe explore how you're using your time, and also like things that you think that, oh, I can't live without that. Maybe you can find a different way to use your time that might be more productive, or like she was talking about before about how we kind of use things to prevent us from progress or prevent us from doing things. So whatever that thing might be that you think it might be, try to give yourself a fast from that this week and see how that works for you. How does it feel? What are the things that maybe comes up? Maybe what do you explore when you're not doing those other things?
To dismantle every institutional attempt.
All right. So then the rest of the exercises, I know we're getting a little bit on time, but I wanted to be able to say so I had you do 3 songs because I wanted to give you time to not only experience doing it at all, creating your first one, but now that you have got the hang of it, you're getting a feel for what that is. Now you can go back in and start to do more for your journaling. And you can start to play with that again, maybe do stencils, maybe do another image, maybe paint on it, draw your own image, paint your own image, those types of things that maybe that somehow brings up in that moment that you're going through the poetry. And also give your poetry a title, give it something that, that you want to show off and tell other people about. And then I would like to have pictures so that we can post it and show everybody the things that we've been working on. So I just want to make sure
Are we showing what we're working on?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's fantastic. And I
I'm
think that's
working on
exactly what we're
the
supposed to be doing. Exactly.
tree top now, the leaves.
Interesting. Are you planning to color those, or are you planning to?
They're going to be different colors. Then I'm going to cut it out, throw it on a piece of paper.
Do you want to share your actual poem?
Sure. It's a bit different. Everything is A-OK because I'm strong as an O-A-K, but money don't grow on trees, and I'm B-R-O-K-E. Them rims, them rings, them things, you can bring them out. I just had my debit card declined at In-N-Out. Because I don't think money is the devil, I'm not sinking, I'm just kicking it at sea level. I'm focusing on all of the wonderful stuff with the force of Obi-Wan. I'm getting open, I'm soaking up every moment, and so we should make a toast. We won't be sober till the broke of dawn. Because love is free. Everything is A-OK because I'm strong as an O-A-K, but money don't grow on trees, and I'm B-R-O-K-E. Why should I sit on my ass on the couch and be asking why life isn't equal? Well, with lesser possessions, I'm light as a feather, and so I can fly like an eagle. Because everyone dies, and I wonder why leaders in power would lie to their people. Be planning like they could be fitting a camel up into the eye of a needle. I'd settle for fitting a 94 Camry inside of my driveway. I'm sick of the image. I'm living my life, and I'm doing it my way.
Okay.
I do mine, which is she don't see her perfect, she don't understand she's worth it, or the beauty goes deeper than the surface. The light that shines within, hope, we're stars. You don't have to change a thing. The world could change its heart. We're stars, we're beautiful. There's no better you than the you that you are, no better life than life we're living, no better time for you to shine. You're a star, you're beautiful, beautiful. Hope is waiting for you in the dark. You're beautiful just the way you are. You don't have to change a thing. We're stars and we're beautiful. Don't change a thing. The world, it's beautiful. We're stars, we're beautiful.
Oh, nice. What was the song itself?
What was it called? Scars to Your Beautiful. That's I chose a lot of like self-positive songs of like ones that are like trying to lift people up, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not familiar with that one, so it's very nice. I like that a lot. I like the imagery that came out of that one. Hannah, do you have anything you want to share, or still the connection's bad?
Not done.
No worries. Just thought I'd ask. Make sure I was making sure you were feeling included in the process.
Thank you, Teresa.
All right, so next week we're going to be doing origami, and we're going to have a little fun off the page with our hands, but with paper. And all you really need to have is like the bright origami paper, colors, and double-sided tape. And we should be able to find some ways to create some really neat different projects with paper. It'll allow us to be able to express. In the chapter 4 or the chapter 5 is going to be about finding our sense of possibilities. So chapter 5 is about our sense of possibilities. Also be looking for postings on upcoming projects. I've been working on trying to come up with different kinds of projects, and I thought it'd be maybe helpful for people to have to be able to plan your materials and shopping. So I'm going to try to put a list of upcoming projects and suggested supply lists, so that might be easier for you to keep up with those different projects as well. So now, so just make sure you're paying attention and keep up on the posts. And if you have any questions, send me a message, and hopefully it'll be a good week and a happy 4th of July. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time. And I'll let you guys go a little early. Have a good night. Oh, wait. Hannah's showing something. I missed it.
Oh,
Fun.
Yep.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's
bigger.
Fun. Really nice.
Poem?
Yes, if you want to share, absolutely. Hold on.
Tonight, I feel alive. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you at all.
Oh, it froze.
Oh, no.
Pro connection just gone.
Oh, that's
She's
too
just
bad.
there as if you're just there. It's just a figure. Nope, that's just an H.
Gone forever.
Oh, we lost her. Oh, wait, she's
She's
coming
back.
back.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
Now,
Is it working now?
can you hear
Oh,
me?
oh,
Yes.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Should I talk now?
We can't hear you at all.
Tonight, I feel alive. To see Tiger, racing car, Lady Godiva, no stopping me. Burning sky, Fahrenheit, on it. Don't stop me now. Rocket ship, Mars. Bang! That's it.
I like it. It was fun. Bang. Oh yeah, the we should totally do that. We should kind of have like a presentation of our poetry and be able to do our clapping and everything. That'd be fun. Well, thank you guys for sharing. I really
Well, I'm breaking down.
well, you have a good
Bye.
night and happy 4th of July, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.